This is everything wrong and right about WrestleDream. Jay White getting a clean pin over Adam Page. Good. The fluid transition into the next match. Good. Mariah May versus Willow Nightingale. Two women that we are highly invested in because we do see every single week. Up until this point, Mariah May has been going against talented women, but they are also not women we see every single week, so we may not be invested as much. The only downside to this match is that Willow did kick out of the Mayday, and I think as a champion, your finisher should be more protected than that. Willow Nightingale is a former TBS champion, and she is a fighter, so it wasn't the biggest deal for me, but I think we should really protect that. Another fluid transition into the next match. Scapegoat versus Shibata was another reminder that Scapegoat can go, and he can sell. Shibata chopping the out of Jack Perry's chest. Good. The weird pin at the end where in my eyes, I thought Shibata's shoulders were up. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm just gonna shrug it. Daniel Garcia coming out to confront Jack Perry, finally getting his push. And then MJF coming out, solidifying that Daniel Garcia is getting his push. And then Adam Cole makes his return. And he's face, so I'm gonna give that a shrug, but I'm either or. I'm not gonna say it's good. I'm not gonna say it's bad. Does it make sense? No, but Adam Cole Bay is back, so I'm gonna give that a thumbs up. Assuming we're going to have Daniel Garcia, Adam Cole versus MJF and Jack Perry at some point, possibly at Full Gear, that's in November, or whatever other event is happening. Ospreay versus Ricochet versus Takeshita was a beautiful flippity-dibbity match with beautiful spots, and if you didn't like that, I don't give a because the AEW crowd was hot. It was wild for this match and they were on their feet. And that's what fucking matters. Will Ospreay, you gotta sell. You gotta sell, bruv. The amount of times that I'm like, you know what, Will, you could sell that a little more. Come on, bruv. I believe in you. I respect you. You're still the best, but you gotta learn how to sell just a little more. Just a little more. Will Ospreay not hitting the Tiger Driver to Bald Bitch? That was bad. Kyle Fletcher running in with a hoodie, acting like we don't know it was him, acting like he didn't just come out with his cargo pants and his crop sweater, acting like we don't know that's Kyle Fletcher. And then he's like, oh, I'm about to surprise all of them and just unveil myself. We know it was you. Takeshita getting the title, that was triple good. That was good to the nth degree. That is what we call a cook fest. That is what we call the fans feasted. Like, we could have just ended the pay-per-view right there, but unfortunately we did have to continue. The unfortunate part is not here yet, but we did have Swerve have a segment in the pay-per-view where the Hurt Syndicate came out and they were talking to Swerve, and it kind of seemed like Swerve was edging into a heel turn against Prince Nana, but at the end of the day, Prince Nana is family, and that was good because he did not turn on Prince Nana. The pit of that segment was that his hometown did not give him the best reception. Like, he's from Washington, guys. I don't know if you knew that. I don't know if you knew that. I don't know what happened. But I did not like that at all. It also seems that we are heading towards Shelton Benjamin versus Swerve, and that is good. Hologram versus the Beast Mortos happened, and I was confused as to why this was on the pay-per-view until this comment. And then looking back, I realized that the announce table was also mentioning this, but I just yapped way too much and I didn't pay attention that they said that. Darby versus Brody was good. Brody, kicking ass, doing what he does best, displaying what he could do in the ring. Woof, woof, woof. Brody King showing sportsmanship instead of slapping the shit out of Darby. Bad. Private Party getting their own entrance package was good. Having Top Flight and Stokely Hathaway in the front row was good, but also a teaser because it's kind of like, oh wow, do we really think that Private Party is going to get this? And yes, we all did think that Private Party was going to get this. So when they didn't get it, it was bad because it's like, how are you going to give them a private entrance and then make them lose? Also, how are you going to put them on a pay-per-view against the Young Bucks for the tag titles and have them lose? I don't know how you don't call an audible and tell the ref, hey, Bucks, guess what, buckaroos? We are just going to have the Private Party win because they are over. And if they win, this will save the pay-per-view because Chris Jericho is co-main eventing. KO. We heard Danielson and Mox fighting through Final Countdown. That was good. Danielson losing, I have a lot of thoughts on that. I had a lot of thoughts when he took it off of Swerve, and I said a lot of things about that. And a lot of it happened. Congratulations to Tony Khan. You built Swerve to be a huge megastar. The most over individual in a while. The people that everybody wanted to become champion. You finally made him champion. And you did it for a filler run. This is gonna be a filler run. Stupid ass fucking shit. Congratulations to Danielson though. So I didn't react as angry as a lot of you guys did. Because I kind of predicted that this was going to happen. So when it happened, I was angry. And then I got even more angry, but I wasn't losing my shit angry about it. You know what I mean? I was more so confused because the BCC comes out. They're kicking Danielson's shit in, as they usually have been doing recently. And then Tony Khan was like, go, Darby, go, Wheeler, go. And it's like, oh, he really thinks he's cooking. And then he was like, oh, they're going to lose their mind because Wheeler Yuta's going to turn. And it was like, okay, we saw Wheeler Yuta turn. That's cool. Then he starts emptying out the locker room. We saw Adam Cole, Private Party. We saw Jeff Jarrett in there. And I feel like Tony Khan really just thought, you know what? I don't really have anything for this ending. So I'm just going to clear out the locker room and go ahead and let me go ahead and send out a Private Party, you know, because the crowd really liked them. And it seems like they don't really like this ending. So let me go ahead and send out Private Party. Adam Cole, you go out there too. Like, it seemed sloppy. It seemed messy. It did leave us with questions, which a good pay-per-view should, or it should be the conclusion of a story. This is very dependent on what happens on Dynamite. It could be good. It could be bad. The only really thing that matters now is the fallout. Are we going to get answers on Dynamite? Who knows? I'm going to give this pay-per-view a 6 out of 10. Am I going to stop watching AEW now? No, because I can dislike something and not shit on the product, not shit on the company, not shit on Tony Khan. I'm fucking kidding, man. Tony Khan, get your shit together, please. Please get your shit together. At the end of the day, this isn't factual. This is just my opinion. And I really needed to make a video on this because of the outcome of WrestleDream, how it started off so hot and then it just declined and declined and declined. And then it was like, what are we doing here at this point? The ending is not, we don't know what's happening. That's the thing. That's the good thing about this is that we have questions. We don't really know what's going to happen. Tony Khan can actually be cooking, but right now we're all upset because we don't understand the ending or what just happened. We kind of feel like they didn't need to take the title off Swerve. I've been feeling that way. I've been very vocal that they didn't have to take the title away from Swerve and we could have still had Danielson versus Mox, but we shall see what happens on Dynamite. And if you do want to see my reaction or talk more about this, I will be live on YouTube for AEW Dynamite and all major AEW pay-per-views.